With the increased marine traffic and incidents at sea around the St. Vincent and the Grenadines, something needed to be done to improve the maritime communication capabilities in the exclusive economic zone of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Via the use of the Universal Service Fund, the USF, the NTRC identified this need and implemented a project to improve the VHF maritime coverage around the country. This would also include locations around the islands where no coverage was available previously. The NTRC, with the assistance of the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority, ECTEL, was also able to access funds from the World Bank to part fund this project, and the remaining funds used from the Universal Service Fund. Managing Director of the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority, Mr. Embert Charles, now explains ECTEL's role in securing the funding from the World Bank under this project.
The GMMDS project, the total funding for this project was about 1.127 million EC dollars. Out of this amount, 540,000 EC dollars, or about 200,000 US dollars, came through a financing arrangement through ECTEL, which in fact was a loan provided by the World Bank to the 5 ECTEL member states to implement what was called a TICT pilot project. And out of that project, there were several components. In this case of the NTRC St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the organization followed all the procedures, went into the bidding, tendering and so forth, and an award was made to a licensed telecommunications provider to implement this GMMDS project. And this is where ECTEL came in, assisted in the process, in the contract arrangements and so forth, and subsequently disbursed the funds which had been allocated to St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The Universal Service Fund, the USF, which has been established and is managed by the National Telecommunication Regulatory Commission of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, signed a contract with the telecommunications provider Lime for the implementation of the GMDSS system. A ceremony was held on November 20th, 2012 to hand over the equipment and the services for the project. Universal Service Fund Administrator Mr. Kyron Duncan outlines the details of the project.
Under this project, the control system, which consists of 2 workstations for the radio operators and servers, were installed here at the Coast Guard base. Additionally, 2 network switches, 1 power supply unit, and the requisite software license were procured and installed here at the base. At Mount St. Andrews remote site, 3 VHF antennas, 3 VHF transceivers, 1 network switch, 1 power supply unit, 2 VHF modems, and a termination unit were installed. These 2 locations are linked via a 2 megabyte fiber optic lease circuit. Additionally, 100 VHF DSC handheld and 10 VHF DSC mobile radios were also procured, as we can see on my right. The Commission also requested that the necessary spares for the system were procured so as not to have the system down due to any faulty equipment. The project also provided technical hands-on training to 19 individuals, including 14 from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Coast Guard base over a 3-day period. This training was conducted by representatives from ICS Solutions, which is a UK-based company, which Lime procured the solution and the equipment for this project. ICS also came into St. Vincent to configure the equipment and ensure that the system is functional.
The commander of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Coast Guard Services now outlines the importance of the system to the Coast Guard.
Since implementation, the GMDSS system has been beneficial to the Coast Guard. One of the features of the GMDSS system is what we call digital selective calling. That is, when you press of a single button, the vessel, which has a DSC radio on board, sends a distress alert to the Coast Guard, who is the agency responsible for maritime rescue and coordination within St. Vincent and Grenadines. We at the Coast Guard have what they call a datum to start our search at. A datum is a position, so we know exactly where the vessel is. Hence, our response time is of vital importance in that we know exactly where to go and look for the vessel in distress.
The tourism sector is of vital importance to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as numerous yachts visit our shores. This new GMDSS system provides for improved communications and provides an enhancement to our national security. Telecommunications provider Lime, who won the contract to implement the system and maintain it for 5 years, was also pleased to be associated with this project.
Lime is elated to be involved in the Maritime project, primarily for two reasons. One, given the significance of the project and the associated impact to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, from the perspective that around the safety of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the fisher folk that utilize our shores, as well as protecting the tourism product of the yachties that visit our shores on a regular basis. It was, I think, for Lime, it carried much significance as well in terms of the stakeholders that were involved in this project, from the World Bank to ECTEL, the NTRC, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the police, having to interact with these key stakeholders to ensure that this project was, a success was one of the key highlights for us at Lime.
Hi, this is the Standard Horizon HX851 GPS-enabled VHF transceiver. This device is more suitable for maritime communication than the standard cell phone because of some of its physical attributes. First of all, the device is built in such a manner that it can be submerged in water. It is waterproof. The device can also float, and it is also built with a luminescent gasket that glows in the dark. The device is also built with a distress alert button that is hidden by this rubber gasket to prevent accidental distress alerts, and it's also equipped with a push-to-talk button that allows for communication. In terms of VHF communication, one of the reasons why this device is more suitable while communicating at sea is that these devices allow for communication between radio operators and other ocean-going vessels at longer ranges than the standard cell phone. These devices can communicate out of the distances 20 miles from a coast station or from another VHF DSC enabled device.
So a recipient of one of the VHF handheld radios during the handing over ceremony for the GMDSS system.
Hello, good morning. Well, I as a fisherman better known as Ellis, I have a VHF in my hand. At least it is a good purpose for each fisherman to around the Caribbean island, because at least when you're out to sea, when the engine starts at you, you can call anyone at any places around the Caribbean, especially St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Grenada, Barbados, anywhere around the Caribbean that you want to. So it is very useful for all fishermen. So I encourage all fishermen today to have one of this VHF.
The implementation of the GMDSS system has enabled St. Vincent and the Grenadines to be called a Sea Area A1, which is a first for Eastern Caribbean region. This A1 area generally has a coverage area of up to 30 nautical miles from the coast station. Locals and foreigners now have the ability to communicate via a sophisticated maritime communication system. The NTRC has and will continue to improve the maritime communication capabilities via the use of Universal Service Fund. The Universal Service Fund, bridging the digital divide to provide opportunities for all.